Dun, 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 dun. Almost there. Okay. There we go. You have it, right?
Yep, I'm adding to stage now. Yay, there we go. Okay. And I am going to share from Conversion Chemistry to my own feed now.
Are you doing the
So we
intro
can
or
get
am
you to
I?
do that. We can get you to do that next week when we have Dylan come on to do the heavy lifting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we got a couple people trickling in from various channels. I did something different this time. Um, Basically a lo-fi way of just allowing more people to see this. Because not everybody's on Facebook. Not all of our audience is on YouTube. I just want as many people to see it as possible. So I did embed the YouTube feed into conversionchemistry.com/webinar. And you don't have to be logged into any particular social media in order to view it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but if you're
Cool,
not logged
cool.
in, you can't comment. So that is the drawback. But I'd love everybody to participate, of course. But I just want everybody to see what we have to say.
We do have a lot to
Uh-oh,
say.
uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Dylan's calling me out. I dropped his name and he's already he sussed me out. All right, so I'm really I'm excited about this one. Because I think the word influencer has a lot of stigma and connotations to it. When a lot of people think of the word influencer, they think of a bikini model or gym bro with a V-shaped torso that goes on and has millions and millions and millions of followers. Which is true, they are, but it's
It's a great visual.
but I mean, maybe that was you 30 years ago when you started on the internet. Who's to say? But being on the internet for 30 years, monetizing it in internet marketing, you've met and worked with, and we're actually an influencer yourself, are an influencer. But I like the term thought leader. It's got a certain more polish to it.
Yeah, I mean, well, an influencer, like you said, there's nothing bad about it, but it is kind of overused. I mean, everybody wants to be, you ask a high school kid what they want to be when they grow up. Oh, I want to be an influencer. Well, does that mean doing stupid pranks and sharing them on
Right.
YouTube? Or does it mean actually something that matters? Like, you could point towards somebody like Jimmy Darts or Just Nate or somebody like that that does a lot of good. Um, but the original thought leader or influencer, heck, man, that's been that way since the beginning of the internet.
Yeah.
You could make a case for BBS, influencers on BBS way back when. So, are we ready to go? Are we ready to
We're
get into
we're
this? I'm
ready. Yeah.
excited. I'm
Let's do
excited.
this.
So,
Let's do this.
we're going to talk about building your tribe, becoming a thought leader or influencer. And again, like Jonesy just said, the words are interchangeable. I like thought leader a little bit better myself. And we're gonna have 9 essentials that we're gonna cover to growing your audience and your authority. And this is easier than you think in some ways a little bit harder than you think. And this is brought to you by conversionchemistry.com. We've got a ton of marketing resources. I love our resource vault. I use it in my own business. That's how good it is. And an empowerment community. We do want to see you win. We do want to see you do well in this. And as Jonesy likes to say at parties and mixers, our inclusively exclusive membership platform designed specifically for aspiring. I got 2 lines in and I screwed up. Yay me.
Hey, if you can breathe, you're in. If you can
Yeah,
breathe,
that's
you're in.
it. Yeah, we're very low barrier of entry. You'll gain access to a world-class 2 world-class innovative strategies that are steeped in authenticity and tailored to help you achieve exceptional results. There's me on the left, Jonesy second on the left, the lovely and talented Hannah Jesse on the right, and as a pair to my handsome bookend, we have none other than the world famous George Bruno himself. This is all at conversionchemistry.com, and we're very happy to have everybody here today. So let's get into it.
Yeah, Frank, why don't go into presentation mode? It's that way we can get rid of like the slides here. I think go to your top right where it says share, and you should be able to go into presenter mode.
You think so, huh?
Doing my best.
What'd you say?
I said doing my best, coach.
Well, yeah. Oh, you see the stuff on the left? That's no good, dude.
Yeah, yeah. We want to bury the lead.
Yeah.
Top right where it says share, you should be able to go into presenter mode.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I got share, which I'm doing, link to this slide, and nothing else.
Okay. I can't see your screen, so.
Oh, you can't?
I can see what you have, but I can't see when you click the button.
Oh, okay. Well, can you trust me on this one?
Of course I can trust you. I don't want the other slides to be showing. That's all.
All right, hold on. How about this?
That's way better. Yeah. That's the ticket.
All right. Now. Oh, thank God. There we go. All right. Build your tribe. This is the ultimate guide to becoming an influencer online. Okay. Or thought leader, as we like to say. The words will be interchanged here. And this is the age of influencers, AKA thought leaders. I mean, we've been around, like I said, even back to, DOS days and little chat prompts back then, and bulletin boards and stuff like that. There's always somebody that had opinions that other people looked at and looked up to, Jonesy. And that's what we mean by, a thought leader or an influencer. It just happens now that with social media, it's a lot easier to become an influencer.
Barrier to entry has never been lower.
Oh gosh, no. So these days, like you're saying, just about anybody can build an audience and become an influencer. Now, it's a good thing. It's also a bad thing from the standpoint of there's a lot of noise out there. And we're going to show you how to cut through the noise and provide value to your people so that you become an influencer or thought leader with some staying power. Now, the beauty of the internet is that, among other things, it allows people to find other people just like them, right? So that's really cool. And that's great. But like I just alluded to a slide or two ago, how can you stand out from the crowd? That's what matters. There's so much noise. We want to show you in this workshop the what, why, and how of becoming a legitimate thought leader. Okay? So what exactly is an influencer, Jonesy? Well, it's this sort of dark-haired beauty with her camera holding up a piece of pita bread with some good yum-yums on it. It's also an influencer, by the clinical definition, is someone that has a following and is able to influence their people, their tribe, their following to do specific things, take actions like vote, donate, buy merchandise, buy products and services that the influencer either makes themselves or recommends as an affiliate or JV partner. So there's a lot of things that you can do once you have the audience. And there's 3 types of influencers. Now, the mega influencers, these are celebrities with millions of followers. Not the easiest thing for the average person to pull off. I'm sure everybody knows who Jimmy Darts is. I watch him. Good guy, gives stuff away, helps people get back on their feet. Can you do that? Or can you be, the Kardashians? That's a celebrity with millions of followers, right? That's not the easiest thing for the average person to pull off. First thing is, I'm not getting a sex change. Second thing, I'm not getting all that cosmetic surgery. So that leaves me out of being a celebrity with millions of followers, I'm afraid. Okay? So he talked about, macro influencers. You can make a case for somebody like Jimmy Darts now because he's become so famous with millions of subscribers. But it's more like these are individuals who are not exactly celebrities, still have built up a large online following. There's one guy that I watch. I can't remember his name. It slips my mind right now. Like he blows up cars and does stupid stuff with his pickup trucks and like blows the engines. He'll buy a school bus and drop it off a cliff, things like that. So he's got a very large following, highly entertaining, totally stupid, but that's what makes it fun, Jonesy, right? you know, and then we get down to sort of us, John Q and Jane Q Public. These are micro influencers, and there's still a heck of a lot of money in this. I mean, these are normal people who have built up an audience in a specific niche and are known for their knowledge and expertise. Like Jonesy, you are becoming fast known for being a rising celebrity in the entrepreneur community of Bucks County, Pennsylvania. You're getting known for your knowledge and expertise. You're getting recommended, and you're certainly building up an audience in that area in the field of local and national marketing, right? So
Why is
normal
this time for
people,
me to shill and drop my link
go
to
ahead.
vote for T-Bone for
I set you up, knock it
2025
down.
entrepreneur?
Yeah, I listen. That lady can't win. I'm going to stuff the ballot box if I have to.
Oh, geez,
I'd rather do it fairly.
that'll disqualify me for sure. But
Yes, well, but these are normal people. These are people like I'm into trains, right?
mm-hmm.
So there's this one guy over in England, and again, I can't remember his name because I'm afraid to touch anything here and lose my screen and not get it back. But he's a train spotter, rail fan in America, Anorak in the UK, Gunzel in Australia. He loves trains, like riding trains, photographing trains, taking pictures of trains, interviewing real trains, not necessarily models. The guy is known for his knowledge and his expertise, and thousands upon thousands of people have followed him. There's influencers. I have a former client who had a low sodium cookbook. He's an influencer in his field, a thought leader, things like that. So while I would like to be a mega or mid-range celebrity, I'm going to settle with micro influencers as a micro. I'm going to self-identify as a micro influencer right now, Jonesy, and that's not a bad thing because there's still a lot of money here. I don't want to go. Well, I do want to go drive school buses off of cliffs and blow stuff up, but you know what? I'm 60. That's probably not the time in my life to be doing that anymore. So
maybe
what am I going
not. Don't self-limit.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't like to put limits on either one of us.
The key takeaway is that fame and ability to create an audience and influence are not synonymous. They're not mutually exclusive. One of interesting quote from the movie Oppenheimer when Robert Downey Jr. was playing Senator, what's his name, was true power stays in the shadows.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money without anybody necessarily knowing everything about you. There's something to be said for that. You know what I mean? Like you can have a big following and still have some level of anonymity is what we're saying. So here's some platforms for influencers, right? Let's talk about this real quick. A blog. Now, you might say, oh, guys, blogging is so 5 years ago. That is just not the truth. Because great thing about blogging is it allows you to share your experience and your insights with your audience in an in-depth manner. It allows them to post if you accept comments. It allows them to interact with you, see you, experience things, read, view, listen, the whole 9 yards. So blogging is still a very good option right now. Number 2, YouTube. Honestly, if you can even be somewhat engaging on camera, and by camera, I'm talking an iPhone or a Galaxy, right? Nothing big and crazy. Doesn't have to be. I mean, George Bruno got how big with just a with his camera, Jonesy? He did it for years and got up to what, 250,000 followers, 500,000, something like that.
Yeah, I think he had the viral phenomenon go on. So his first 100,000 were like within months, and it's been a steady increase since then.
Right, right. And I'll say George can definitely be somewhat engaging on camera. He's very endearing in person. If you like him on the videos, he's even better in person. Um, if you can do anything at all with the camera, and maybe it's practice, maybe you get used to it. You don't have to be a film star, but YouTube might be the right platform for you. It just might be. I use it. We use it all the time. Um, Now, the next one is a podcast. Now, there's courses on it. We've got resources for you. So if you're interested, we can definitely help you. The
Yeah,
cool thing
that's
about
actually a course you did before we even partnered up, and we now have it in our Conversion Chemistry's Essential Kit. Totally complimentary. Was how to start a podcast, and much like starting a blog, even though the tech has slightly changed, it's actually gotten easier. It's the barrier to entry is minuscule, and the way to set it up is just get started. Um, and interestingly enough, some of these platforms and tech are like the lines are blurred with how to implement them. For example, a video podcast is basically YouTube. It's a vlog. So they're really one and the same. Yes, podcast came up as an audio format, but something as simple as recording a video, creating a Spotify stream, totally free, pumping that Spotify stream into your YouTube. Now you're on two platforms. You're a podcaster and a YouTuber instantly,
for the price of one, if you will.
which is free.
I love that.
The best price to get started because it eliminates any sort of price sensitivity and barrier to entry.
That's right. In other words, people, you have no excuse. Read between the lines here. You can
Yeah.
do this. We love you. All right. So, podcast, honestly, if you can develop an interesting show that attracts a lot of listeners, this is when brands want to start to work with you. They say, okay, he's up and trending. There's things like Podmatch, Podbean, this and that. All these tools here to help you. And like Jonesy said, we have that here for you within the confines of conversion chemistry and all the magic that comes with it. Social media. Again, social media is both a blessing and a curse when it comes to being a thought leader. Facebook, you can go viral in a good way or a bad way. Like a lot of these Karens that you get, and you know about these Karens, right, Jonesy, that get into trouble for doing dumb things. They go viral on social media. That's no bueno, right?
I know a
But
thing or two about Karens.
you do. You don't like to brag, but yeah.
But shutupkaren.net for anybody who's interested. That would be the Karen 215 on Instagram and Shut Up Karen on Facebook. Multiple tens of thousands of followers of what is basically crap posting with the help of our friend Sam Risby.
We love Sam. Shout out to Sam. Yay. All right. So again, social media, both a blessing and a curse, depends on how you use it. And if you do something dumb, it might come back to bite you. But if you don't do anything dumb, you're fine, right? So here we go. Next up, we have email. Email's never gotten out of style. Never gone out of style, I should say. In recent years, it's kind of made a resurgence. There has been a resurgence in email followers and newsletters. And thing is, if you have a good list of loyal followers, it's pretty much priceless. I can tell you this, quote unquote, being a thought leader years ago. I had people call me up and say, "Hey, Frank, I'm one of your readers. I'm one of your followers. Um, I'm looking to buy X product, but because I'm a loyal follower, I want to know if you have an affiliate link for it. I want to buy through you and reward you." Home Slice, that was 25 years ago, and that still works today, having a good list. Okay. You guys that show up every week that we do something, you are what loyal followers look like. We give value, a ton of information. with a little pinch of humor and satire, but it's all usable and applicable to the average person, you guys are priceless. You're our book of business. An email, thing about an email newsletter too, is you own that list. Jones, you just want to comment like on YouTube and stuff about a couple of the dangers maybe with that stuff, as good as it is?
You mean
Like
as
you get
the
so big and stuff happens and
yeah, I mean, well, it's like the reverse of the halo effect. It's called the horn effect. It's actually a topic of one of our modules. When there's sort of any negative perception that can happen, then from a branding standpoint, it's detrimental. Second is any platform that you put all your eggs into, and you run the risk of losing that platform because it's not yours. You don't own it. You don't own the channel. You don't own the medium. So what I'm trying to say is that you're at risk of losing that audience unless you have it somewhere else. And, email is, still, I don't know how to rank it per se, but it's a way to always be present with your audience and take your audience with you. Because you can't,
absolutely.
I guess you can theoretically go and scrape 250,000 followers worth of handles, but without manual outreach, you have no way to to connect with them outside of that platform. There's some tools and ways to do it, like ManyChat, but you want to get them to opt in. You want to get them
Always.
to opt into a secondary or tertiary list that you own.
Exactly. And you back it up. You've got your little database, your Excel spreadsheet with your people, and you're safe. Because again, done correctly, a good list of loyal followers is absolutely priceless, without a doubt. Now, if you can build a substantial following on any of the platforms that we just discussed, you can absolutely become a thought leader that brands want to work with. And we're going to tell you why that's so cool in a minute. Having brands come to you and say, hey, we'd like to showcase our products and our merch. We'd like to be on your show. It's always cool when people come to you. And that's great. It's like you're in charge. People are coming to you and saying, hey, I want to work with you. That's a good position to be in. Now, getting back to this, can the average person do this or not? Some influencers have a very broad audience. Like I say, Jimmy Darts or some of these kids that do dumb stuff and get in trouble with the cops and they show it on YouTube and so forth. Others speak to a smaller niche group. There's people that are, there's one guy, was the Traveling Woodsman or something like Wandering Woodsman, I think it is, on YouTube. He hikes around Northeast Pennsylvania exploring old coal mines, um, Sullivan's Trail, where in the 1700s, I think it was early 1800s, we were fighting with the Indians, the Iroquois and all. And Sullivan was a colonel or general, chased them up into New York State. So he follows stuff like that. Abandoned railroads, highways that have been realigned, the old state roads that went right through downtown. He shows you where those are. That's a small niche group. And I'll tell you what, that guy gets some good views, and I know he's making money from his ad revenue, if
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
else. And that's so small as to be obscure. And yet here I know the guy's name, moniker off the top of my head. So we talked about the benefits of being an influencer. Jonesy, you want to talk about this young fella right here?
That's my buddy Guy Funny. Been working with him for quite a few years. First in the context of a exclusive agreement he had to be the spokesperson for Fella Auto Group, a client of mine, car dealership. So yeah, one is you get paid, right? He gets to be a brand ambassador for places like Fella Auto Group, Foot Locker. He does a lot of basketball stuff because he's also a coach. So the Rumpf Classic every year. So A, it's money. B, you get the benefits: free sneakers. You get tickets to Eagles games, courtside tickets. He got to go ring the bell at the Sixers last year. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, those are some of the outside of the platform benefits that you have. That's if you want the more celebrity type status.
And they're nice little benefits, like I'm pretty much Pittsburgh everything, but if I got free tickets to Philly and Philadelphia thing, I'll ring that bell, man. It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. It's a nice experience, you know what I'm saying? On top of the money he's making, he's getting perks, some new kicks, some new duds, whatever, and he's doing all right for himself. And how many followers does he have, Jonesy?
2 million on Instagram,
Holy cow!
2.5 on Facebook. I don't even know how many on TikTok. It's it's nearing a million, millions of likes, and YouTube is the one we're actively working on for him. Somewhere around the 160,000 subscribers on YouTube.
And this is a local guy that you know. I mean,
Yeah, he's a Philly guy.
yeah, yeah. And I didn't want to say it like he's nobody special, but what I mean is he's an average person, right? Like if you walk past him going down the street, he's not in a Rolls Royce with a following like Kid Rock or whoever, right? He's just a guy.
I
He's
mean, I think he'll be driving a Navigator now, but yeah,
yeah.
he's
Well, it pays, yeah.
he's not untouchable.
That's what I'm saying. You could sit down and have a meal with this guy without security all around you and needing an appointment. And look, he's got what's it, 1 million, 2 million on YouTube?
Not on YouTube. He's got just under 200,000 on YouTube, but 2 million on Instagram, 2.5 on Facebook.
Oh
I
my
mean, look,
God.
he's like a youth basketball coach. Like that was his 9 to 5 paid career.
Right,
And with his son, he had a couple comedy videos go viral. It's good stuff. Sketch based, life commentary comedy.
right.
So he leveraged that, and that's self-reinforcing as far as building up a following. So then he got some stand-up gigs and some acting work based out of it.
Acting. Oh,
Leverage.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah,
Acting work.
in a couple feature films.
Wow. Awesome. And that's somebody that Jonesy works directly with, and Jonesy gives advice and manages his stuff and everything. So that's really cool. So basically, you want to continually work on building your reputation, because if you consistently provide your audience with expertise and knowledge, you're going to develop a reputation as the go-to person in your industry. I'm going to tell you something. The whole secret is that once people know you, like you, and trust you, everything gets easier because it becomes viral. People recommend you, people become your advocate. They're telling their friends, their family, their followers about you, etc. Matter of fact, this morning I sent my wife not one, but two, but three hilarious dog videos on YouTube. Like people on Facebook, dogs opening the back door and jumping into the snow and they disappear, or a dog grabbing a ball and the ball pops. And like, I pass this stuff on. So how do we do this stuff every day, and it's just a matter of getting people to know you, like you, and trust you, and that's through consistency, right? So, as you attract new followers, you grow your reputation, and the more people, more brands will want to work with you. The world starts opening up for you. And yeah, you have to put a little work in this. Yes. Does it happen overnight? Sometimes, but not typically. Can the average person do this? Become a thought leader? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one of the cool things is connecting with others, because as an influencer, you can authentically connect with a large number of people. So what you want to do is you want to look for people in similar and complementary markets that you can connect with. You can cross promote each other, and you can joint venture with. Podmatch, for example, for podcasters, right, Jonesy? Exactly. So becoming a thought leader, it does take a significant amount of work, especially in the beginning, but it's not the hardest thing you're ever going to do. You know, it's certainly not anything painful. It's just learning some new stuff. And if you stay at it, it definitely pays off in the long run. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah,
28
no matter who you are, you're an expert in something, in your thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Local restaurants in the Newtown, Pennsylvania area, best places in the Northeast to go sky watching. What is it? Hidden Promised Land State Park, I think in Central PA, has got one of the darkest skies year round. And you know, we want to go camping up there because you'll see the Milky Way like it's nothing. I don't know about you, Jones, but here in Lehigh County, I don't really tend to see the Milky Way at night. I see the stars and planets, but no Milky Way. But 3-4 hours away, out past Wellsboro and the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania, there's a state park that is pitch black. So even if you talk about that, best places for astronomy in the Northeast, best places for astronomy in Pennsylvania, best places for astronomy in Eastern Pennsylvania, drilling 3 levels down. Those are things that people want to hear about, okay? A little bit of work goes a long way. So we're going to help you figure this out, right, guys? Step 1, obviously you need to talk about something. Choose your niche, right? Choose your niche. And there's ways to do that. And what I will say is this: too broad is no bueno. You'll have more success if you pick a specific niche in which to build your audience. The examples I just gave you and Jonesy talked about. It's also a lot easier to be really good at just one topic, especially for me, Jonesy. I'm not a multitasker by any means. Like I'm great at what I'm good at, and the rest of it I subcontract, outsource, or partner up. Right?
Sure.
You just have to be good at one topic. You don't have to know. Like for the best places in Eastern PA to skywatch, like January 25th, there's going to be an alignment of all the planets, right? Well, I'd love to see that. Evidently, it happens right after dark. So if there was a place that said an influencer on Facebook or YouTube or whatever that said, here are the 5 places that you can go within an hour of Allentown, Reading, Philadelphia, I would be interested, and I would subscribe, and I would follow them. And I can tell you that for a fact because when the Northern Lights started showing up back in the fall, Jonesy, I went to like PA Northern Lights in Facebook. Now I'm in a Facebook group that tells me when we stand a chance of seeing the Northern Lights. How hard is that? They get a feed from some national weather thing or government site. They interpret it, they post it, and they say, hey, based on these numbers, next Tuesday, it looks like we're going to have some good solar flares. That's being good at one topic. That's it. They're not telling you how the cosmos was made. They're not talking about, you know, God or the meaning of life. They're saying, go to, you know, Stokesboro State Park or whatever, and look east around 8 p.m. You'll get great views. How hard is that, Jonesy? I mean, it's an interest and a passion the guy had anyway, right? He just made it public. Now he's got followers. Or these weathermen like Northeast Nick or Eastern PA Weather Authority. Those guys have built a niche through their own weather service, and they have advertisers and sponsors on it. I don't listen to weather.com. I go to like Eastern PA Weather, Lehigh Valley Weather Authority, stuff like that. Every time I go to check the forecast, these guys get paid. I mean, could you do that if you're into weather? Absolutely. So when you're choosing your niche, just be honest. Go someplace quiet. Take a drive. Go someplace you don't go to. Shake things up a little bit so that you're not comfortable and complacent. Start asking yourself, and write this down. Film it. Record it on your phone. You know, your voice memos or whatever. Hey, what am I good at? What do I like to do? What problems can I help other people solve? What value can I deliver to my audience? What can I offer that nobody else does? Well, one of the things that you can offer that nobody else does is actually your unique spin, your unique perspective, your unique attitude. And that's your unique skills right there. And then really important, what do other people tell me I'm good at? And hopefully, you know, you have people that can tell you things that you're good at. And I say that kiddingly because everybody does, man. I've got a neighbor that is so good at landscaping. I have him mow my lawn because he does a better job than I do, and I'm too busy doing other stuff like making money on the internet. So he likes to mow lawns. He gets paid. Um, and for him, it's very zen. He's just out there cranking out on his ride on. He's good at that. That's a guy that I would go to and have gone to. Hey, it's spring. What do we want to put down, first as far as the spring fertilizer and feed? Things like that. It doesn't have to be, we're not doing brain surgery here, right, Jonesy? This is common everyday stuff. Parenting, raising good kids in today's crazy world. I have a client that is just finishing up her first ebook. 90 to 120 days ago, she had no idea what she was doing or going to do, right? So your goal is to find a niche that'll be broad enough that many people will be interested in, but narrow enough so that you can stand out. Okay. Now, it is important to do some research before finalizing the niche that you want to operate in, because you don't want to pick a dud, right? You want to pick something that's got a chance of making you some money. So, how do you do that? Jonesy, real quick, do you want to talk about our amazing, all powerful, and all knowing niche navigator?
Well, I don't know if it's all powerful and all knowing, because it's only as good as the inputs you give it, which, only you, end user, the person, the entrepreneur, the future or scaled up thought leader, influencer can answer. So it's going to ask you a series of 12 questions, some of which we just covered in the last slide. And based on that, it'll give you 3 to 4 niches, 3 levels deep. And really, it's meant to just kind of stoke your imagination, or to reveal some niches that you probably were not thinking about and recontextualize them. That's all it really does. So it's a pretty amazing tool for that. It just gives you some new ways to think and present yourself.
Where do people get that at?
Conversionchemistry.com. Log into your complimentary Conversion Chemistry's Essentials membership.
And it'll be right there waiting for you.
Yes, no fee, no credit cards required.
Well, they could tip us if they wanted to, I suppose, but
yeah, I wouldn't say no to it. But talking about a self-referential point here, Colleen is not only a Conversion Chemistry member, she is now a business partner with me. Awesome person, awesome creative mind here. People won't buy from you if they don't know, like, or trust you. And with that, that's why, we give away a lot of this stuff absolutely complimentary. It's, frameworks and scaffoldings I use within my marketing agency, because I do want people, I do want to operate transparently. Second, I want people to run with the successful frameworks and strategies I've created, and eliminate the failures that I've gone through. I A/B tested my way through a lot of stuff. Now you don't have to. Yay. So yeah, take it and run with it. Even if you don't become my customer, that's fine. Because all right, here's the example I always go to is, I know how to change my own oil on my car. However, I'm not changing your oil, Frank. I got too much shit to do. I'm not changing anybody else's oil. So I'm going to refer the companies I go to for oil changes. Right. So same thing. If I give you a ton of value and give you a ton of information, maybe you'll start your own marketing agency. Fine, whatever. Let's work together that way. But most likely you're going to DIY your marketing, succeed. And then when someone goes, wow, how do you do that? Well, either you'll take them on as a client, but probably not, because you're too busy making money on your actual product or service. You're going to say, hit up Jonesy's marketing agency. Hit up Frank, Jonesy, Hannah, George for Conversion Chemistry. Dive in, right? So that's not to be ego stoking or self-promotional. That's just a fact. That's the way referral services work. That's the way the halo effect works.
Absolutely. So step 2, let's define our audience. What do we have again, Jonesy? We have a brand building worksheet for the good people at home, correct?
That's absolutely right. That is part of the complimentary kit. There's no correct order to do Niche Navigator or do the brand building worksheet. It may also depend on where you're at in your journey. So the Niche Navigator, there's some crossover questions with this. Now, your brand is representative of your unique sales proposition and helps you define your ICP, not the insane clown posse, but your ideal customer profile. Who are you trying to reach and why you should reach them? So they can be done in tandem. If you have 2 monitors, do one on each monitor.
Oh, I love that idea because then you're playing back and forth, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. Okay. Now, knowing who your audience is, who they are, what they like, etc., allows you to create content that's valuable to them. You win and they win, and you win when they win. Okay. So, next up, to help you define your audience, think through these questions. What's their age range? What are their hopes and dreams? What do they fear? What motivates them? What do they want out of life? What problem or problems are they looking to solve? And let's help them solve those.
Mm.
Here's some more ideas. What are the biggest struggles? What do they look up to? Who do they look up to? I should say. Who do they dislike? Right? Whose opinions influence them? And I think extremely important one. Where do they currently go for information on this topic? Where is your audience today, and who are they going to for advice, guidance, a place to learn, a place to vent, a place to belong? Okay, that's where you want to do some of your homework right there. Now, if you're not sure about any of the answers to these questions, all you do is you post them on relevant social media and see how people respond to your question. Facebook Audience Insights. Here's another tool that can be very useful when it comes to understanding your audience. Okay, so just Google Facebook Audience Insights and off you go. Another way to get insight into your audience, again, is like I said, where are these people now? You join relevant online groups like Facebook groups, etc., and you pay attention to what people in the groups discuss. Don't just jump in there and try to convert everybody over to your stuff. Just listen for a little bit and participate. And slowly, I say slowly, but soon enough, you'll be an influencer within that group as you're doing your own homework.
Mm.
Right? Great place to get started. Now, you might be tempted to skip this step thinking that you already know your audience. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's a reason why we have all the stuff that we're telling you is because it actually works. This is the way, and going rogue right now is not the way. So, step 3, pick your platform. Where are you going to post this stuff to? And honestly, Jonesy, what's the reason why you only want to pick one or two in the beginning?
What's the reason you only want to pick one or two in the beginning is because you're going
Yeah.
to stretch yourself like a melting piece of butter over too much toast if you try to expand too much too far too fast, from multiple reasons, because not every platform is going to be good for your niche and the audience you're trying to reach, and that means the people, what they're interested in, what they're looking for, and or the product, service, or niche that you're talking about. I know a couple slides are going to get into it, but visual based content, Instagram, Pinterest, being different than microblogging content like X or Blue Sky, or community based stuff, whether it's text based like Reddit or Discord, or even Facebook, still the biggest community site out there. So you see what I'm saying is, go where your audience is. There's ways that we can have you streamline and propagate your content, but you also personally can't be involved. Social media is more than just posting, it's interacting and engaging. So be where you should be to start with.
Right. And if you're too busy posting, you're not making enough content, you're not engaging, the whole thing's not going to work.
Correctamundo.
So if you aren't sure which platform to choose from, again, think about your audience. Which platform or platforms are they most likely to be found on? A little bit of research here now, guys, pays dividends forever going forward. Also, again, what platform do other thought leaders in your niche use? That's easy enough to figure out. And in addition to choosing a primary platform, choose a supporting platform where you're going to share your smaller pieces of content. Jonesy just talked about that. You can't be in 10 places at once. We have a primary and a secondary. Maybe you post on YouTube and then you put snippets to Facebook or, TikTok or wherever. And what you want to do is you want to use your supporting platform to drive people back to your primary platform. Okay. Step 4, A, spice up your profiles, your social media profiles.
Hey,
Hey, Mario, right? Add a great profile picture because, your profile, honestly, Jonesy, that's like an integral part of your brand and your identity. People want to know who they're talking to. Again, comes down to that know, like, and trust that we speak about so frequently here at conversionchemistry.com. Add a cover photo. Now, a solid cover photo allows you to convey additional information about yourself and helps build trust, right? So, the next thing you want to do is switch over to a business account because almost every social media platform allows you to switch to a business account and take advantage of the perks that typically come with it. Craft a compelling bio. Your biography communicates who you are, what you're all about, and it lets people get to know you better, bigger, and faster.
And it should the style should reflect the audience you're trying to reach. I actually have on my personal landing page on Conversion Chemistry. Let me type the link here. Conversionchemistry.com/Jonesy. I have actually, because it's there as kind of like a resource for like media kit, press kit, whatever. Whenever we do speaking gigs or presentations, like here, copy my bio from here. I've got the Daniel Jones bio, and then I got the Jonesy bio. Depending on the context. If it's more traditional and needs to be polished, it's the Dan Jones bio. If it's my regular goofball guerrilla marketing, contrarian, anti-authoritative personality, that's the Jonesy bio.
That's the Jonesy that I know and love.
Well, that is the authentic me. But sometimes we gotta get gussied up for the ball.
Yeah, and that fascinates me every time because I'm like, who are you and what did you do to Jonesy? So, untag yourself from inappropriate posts. And Jonesy, at the risk of sounding obvious, why do people want to do that?
Why do people want to do that?
Yeah, why do you want to be proactive in that and be on top of that?
Oh, I mean, I guess I got, I feel like I repeat myself a lot, but it bears repeating, is that it's social media, not self-promotion, content blasting media. Right.
Exactly.
So you want to be seen where you want to be seen, and don't be seen where you don't want to be. It doesn't matter where your political affiliations lie. I don't care. What I do know as a fact is a lot of advertisers are pulling out of X because of the connotation of the type of content on there. So you can do this on pretty much any platform through settings where you can auto tag. You can disable auto tag, doesn't matter, but you need to have some sort of audit or monitoring on that. I mean, even if it's not like something could be completely off the radar, like, spam or whatever, and they just tag a bunch of people, you don't want to be associated with that. That's really all this comes down to.
Yep. Because people, even if they see your name, they associate you with it, and you have no control over your own creative body of work, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right? So, pin your best content. Pin the post or posts that best show off who you are and the value you offer. This way, when people are new to you, they see it as soon as they follow you right at the top. So you definitely want to pin your best post. Take advantage of any additional customization options that your chosen platform offers. Step 5, now you're going to map out your content. Here's where the tire hits the road, right? So your goal is to deliver content that's valuable to your audience and allows you to show off your personality. Said it before, I'll say it again. Can't say it enough. People like to buy from someone they know, like, and trust. We all buy from Amazon, but I say we trust it, but I don't know if we know it and like it like a human being. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people dig you, people trust your recommendations. And both of these elements are critically important. They really are. So, what makes a piece of content valuable? Are we just churning things out ad nauseum to infinity? Or are we making some good value and some good content that people can get excited about? I think we know the answer to that. Content is valuable to your audience if it helps them solve a problem.
That's number one.
Gives them, what's that?
That's number one. That's the highest intent of any type
Gotcha.
of search. Is,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Gives them valuable knowledge, evokes emotion in them, entertains them, like me and my dog videos, watching these dogs jump into a snowbank, right? Makes their life better in some way, like I talked about, stargazing and Promised Land State Park and this and that. I don't want to spend 2 hours trying to figure out where it's dark, within darkest skies are within 3 hours. I mean, somebody's already done it. They're trustworthy. I'll follow them for life. That's the way I look at it,
Into the
because they
very
made
fires of Mordor.
very much right through them, man, right through. All oh, you're a mess. You know that, right? I love you. All kinds of content. All kinds of content. He's trying to make me laugh and throw me off track. And your nefarious scheme will not work, Mr. Jones.
Do you remember our early recording sessions of our digital dominance blueprint?
Yes.
Yeah, when every time I would say make money on the back end, you would start giggling.
It's because I'm immature at age 60. That's right. The back end, he said. Right. All kinds of content can fit these requirements to be considered valuable content. So the best influencers also share valuable content created by others, which is great because that means you don't have to create all this stuff yourself. One effective strategy that we like to recommend for posting content is the 5-3-2 principle, right? And what does that mean? It means for every 10 social media posts that you put out there, 5 of them are created by somebody else and you're just sharing them. 3 of them are valuable content you created, and 2 of them are about you. So that, again, people know you more, like you more, trust you more. Okay? Next up, if you're having trouble with ideas, there's a number of strategies that you can use. Again, we can help you with this too. Type a relevant phrase into Google, and then you just look at the related searches at the bottom of the page. You don't want to look at the sponsored ads, right, Jonesy? Because people paid there, and the algorithms are all different. You want to look for the people that are organically listed at the bottom. Am I saying that correctly, sir?
Unless you're buying something from one of my clients and you're a high intent customer, then by all means, please
Buy at
click
the
on the
top.
sponsored ad. But we do program the ads in a way that it is for the highest intent of users. So yeah, I always scroll past. There's quite a few tricks. Like I'll post in the comments here where you can do. Actually, I think I can do a little banner, right? Why not? Let's do it. Create a banner. Here's a Google search. Oh, I don't know. Ratings of dog groomers near me. Cite reddit.com. So that's not a good example because that's whatever. Now I have a good example. I have ratings of career advisors. Cite reddit.com. Because that's our buddy Dylan Lee.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, you Google and you type site : specific niche where you know people are talking about a thing. And alternatively, Google Trends. You can use Google Trends. There's no sponsored ads on there.
Absolutely. So next, answer the public. And it was funny that you mentioned this because I had used this a few years ago, and I kind of came back to it when we started doing stuff. Answerthepublic.com is really wild, and you guys should write this down now because this is a tool you're going to come back to over and over and over again. Answerthepublic.com. It's going to tell you what your people are looking at, where they're spending their time, etc. And it does it in a really easy to understand, very organized fashion. It's like a mind map on steroids, I would say. Quora can also be helpful for generating ideas because you can look at the communities there. Chat GPT is another great starting point. We talked about this. Why is that the case, Jonesy? What do I do with Chat GPT? Do I look at it, talk to it? How do I get ideas of the markets from Chat GPT?
Pure ideation. Just do 5 minutes of research, grab some text strings of output from all these other things you just looked at, Google Trends, seventh, eighth search result on Google, specific communities, Quora, and then put it into ChatGPT. And the prompt is simply for ideation. Help me brainstorm through this thing and have a conversation with it.
And at the other end will come some good, organized, structured data with some great recommendations. So step 6, now we're really cooking with gas here. Step 6, publish your content. Social, and it's cool because, well, do you have to be a slave to the grind? Heck no. Jonesy and I, and especially Jonesy, are all about the lifestyle. So these social media scheduling tools, they allow you to schedule your posts in advance and then automatically publish them for you. How freaking cool is that? You're out playing hockey, Jonesy, and you're dropping your next post, right? Very cool stuff here. How can you be in 2 places at once? Well, using social media schedulers like Publer.io, Buffer, Hootsuite, CoSchedule, Sprout Social, Opus Clip Pro, who we know and love. What a heck of a program that thing is, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to put in 2 links in the comment here, and I'm just going to stop you at Publer and Opus Clip. I pretty much need nothing else at this point for scheduling.
Okay. So you'll just put those 2 in there then, and that's good. All right. Now, goes without saying, though, right? Each of your posts should be optimized for the channel on which it is being published. Make sure that you optimize your post for mobile devices. What's the percentage, Jonesy? Is it like 80% or something like that?
It's brand and industry specific. I see up to 90% mobile users on some brands. And some, in business to business, you're hovering in the 60s because a lot of these companies are still doing their research, in the office. But it's well over 70% on the average for just users in general. Well over 70% at this point.
Gotcha. So what that means is statistically, if you're not optimized for mobile, you're screwing up your chances with 7 out of 10 people that come to your site, your post, your blog, or whatever. Okay. And depending on the platform that you're using, and some platforms have them, some don't, you may also want to optimize your posts with hashtags. Hashtag tools. Jonesy, you want to talk about the ones you like here?
Yeah, so I mean, we always like to have options, but again, at this time when we're doing this webinar, I'm going to stop you. Maybe we can put Answer the Public in there to help generate. I'm going to just look at Google Trends, see what's trending, and then ask ChatGPT to search Google Trends, put in my post caption, have it link back to my brand, and just generate some hashtags instantly.
And for people that don't know what a hashtag is, the 10-second description?
I will. It's literally a tag that is like it's a meta, not meta like as in Facebook, but it's a
3
tag.
seconds left, Jonesy.
Yeah. It allows you to identify liked and grouped posts based on a specific topic or current event.
It's like the Dewey Decimal System, only with words instead of numbers.
Is hashtag. That's like I'm trying to describe it without saying the word. That's one of the hardest things to do.
You did well. You did well. Now, step 7. Here's where things get really wild. You're going to engage with your audience, guys. And we're getting towards the finish line here with this stuff. So hang with us for a few more minutes while we talk about this. Because number 1, when you're out there and you're doing this stuff and you're engaging, it allows you to build relationships with your audience. And the more your audience knows you, the more they come to trust you. And the more sponsors show up, the more money shows up, all good things. And if you don't engage with your audience regularly, you're going to seem cold, distant, and aloof. And that's no bueno, as we like to say around here. No bueno. Absolutely. You have to publish regularly because you know what? If your competition's out there 5 days a week and you're only out there 1, you do the math, right? That 1 better be your best work ever because the other guy's got 5 to your 1. And almost every social media platform boosts posts that have more engagement. So what is that? That's the equivalent of free traffic, free publicity, free promotion. Comments on your posts are great because they give you feedback. They give you more insight into how your audience thinks. The more engagement you have, the more you're rewarded by the more feedback. The tighter you can make a group, the more traffic, the more sponsors. The list goes on, guys. And yeah, it takes some time to respond to comments and have meaningful conversations with others. But geez, they're your people or your tribe, so it's worth it. It really is. Step 8. This is where Jonesy gets his happy face on. Analyzing the results. He is all about the data, right? Because if you want to work with brands, you have to be able to provide them with concrete data about the content that you produce, how many likes, etc. Jonesy, what are they really looking for? Again, 60-second version here.
Right. So if we're talking specifically about brand collaborations, they want to see that your message is going to reach the audience that they are also trying to reach, the brand. So one, that just simply starts with demographics, male, female, age range, location, affinity interests, what they like, what they dislike. Does your content match the current objective or goal of whatever you're trying to sell or provide? Our buddy George Bruno, he does some stuff for like beard stuff, like beard grooming, right? So, he's got a beard. It's a pretty luscious, luxurious beard. If he was clean shaven, I mean, unless it's a shaving product, of course, but that's not beard care. So this beard oil, right? Beard conditioner. He's got to have a beard. His beard's got to look good. All right.
And it does,
a very surface. Yeah. It's a very surface level example right there.
It's a mighty fine beard he is sporting.
He also talks about Rode microphones, which I've got one right here. Rode microphone.
Yes.
This is a pretty basic one just for home podcasting. But George is very serious about that. So what? His audio feed has to sound good in order to talk about Rode microphones.
Sure, absolutely. So that's the 60-second version of that. Almost every platform offers you analytics of some kind that you can use to evaluate your progress. And I say measure in the beginning because every bit matters. In the beginning, you want to kind of get motivated, keep yourself motivated. Hey, look at this thing's growing inch by inch. And then when you get big, you have to keep monitoring it and analyzing these analytics because you're making money, you're an influencer, you're a thought leader, people are knowing you, liking you, and trusting you. Brands want to buy with you, people want a JV, etc., the whole 9 yards. How you do that is by making sure that you have analytics. If you're blogging, an example would be how many people visit your site, which pages do they visit the most, how long do they stay on your site. As a podcaster, number of downloads per site, number of downloads per episode, I should say, and which episodes get the most downloads. YouTube, subscriber growth, which videos get the most views, how long people watch each video, in other words, dwell time, view time. Social media, demographics, which posts get the most likes, comments, and reposts. These analytics are literally the thing that fuels your influencer or thought leader empire. And as you evaluate your results, what we want you to do and what you'll need to do is pay close attention to the content that performs well and also by the comments left by your audience. Feedback matters for sure. Okay. Next up, step 9. Oh, there he is. Now, didn't I tell you he had a great look at that beard?
Yeah, and this is Cologne, not the beard one, but I wanted a good screenshot from one of his videos. Oh, there's the Rode microphone in there, though.
Yep, there he is. I love George. Look how handsome he is right there, huh? Step 9, collaborating with brands. Our own George Bruno with bullet number 1, tactical cologne, and the microphone. I got to get me one of those microphones. We got to talk about that, Jonesy. I can't have you two having that and me not, right? So what you're going to do is wait for brands to reach out to you, okay? Show companies that you're open to collaboration by tagging their products in your posts before they reach out to you. You say, hey, I'd like Dodge Ram pickups to reach out to me and maybe do some stuff. Well, hashtag Ram, hashtag Dodge truck, hashtag whatever. And then eventually you get the traffic, they're going to come to you. You're going to reach out to relevant companies in your niche. That's number two. Number three, you're going to use an influencer platform. And again, Jonesy, I'll defer to you. Which ones do you like the best out of this handful?
Honestly, I'm going to stop at Collabster right there. Put that in the chat here. That's
Okay.
the one I have used as a media buyer, but as the marketing strategist and hiring for brands to find influencers to be a brand representative. And then also working with guys like Guy Funny and George, a way to showcase their themselves as an influencer. So what it is, it's a platform that basically aggregates you influencer and positions yourself to work with brands, and then brands hire you through there. So it serves as a third party payment intermediary, escrow, handles all the contracts and that type of stuff. So it's like a mini agency, really. It's it's a marketplace and an agency. But you can really define create your ultimate brand you want to work with by saying it. And then vice versa, a brand has the ability to look at where you're situated, what your following is on particular platforms, and what your pricing is. You dictate the pricing. And with that, market dictates pricing, whether or not a person or brand is willing to spend money. And second is you also control your pricing. So you can say it costs $5,000 to work with me. You may not get any bites, but your time is your money. So you're in
Absolutely.
100% control of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we want you to research which platform is right for you. Your tribe is definitely waiting. I can guarantee that, right? So here's what we've covered so far. We've talked about, as a recap, we're going to finish up here in a couple minutes. What we talked about, what an influencer or thought leader is, and the benefits of being an influencer or thought leader. We talked about how to choose your niche. We talked about how to define your audience. We talked about picking the primary platform that you want to be seen on. We did talk about a secondary one as well. And we talked about spicing up your social media profiles. We talked about mapping out your content. We talked about publishing your content. We talked about engaging with your audience. We talked about analyzing the results and collaborating with brands, right? Now, see, becoming a thought leader doesn't happen overnight. And then I said this earlier. In the beginning, it does take a lot of time and effort, but it's like a snowball downhill. You know what I mean? You push it, push it, push it, push it. You hit a tipping point. All of a sudden, good things happen virally, organically. Okay? Yeah, it takes a little bit, but Jonesy, people go to school college, right? After school, they go to college for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, depending on that degree, and they invest multiple thousands of dollars in loans, study time, going to school, dorm expenses, whatever. And then they get a degree that makes them okay money. But you can't get on the internet and spend 1 or 2 days or a week and figure that you're going to become the next greatest thought leader or influencer. Maybe it's going to happen. We never say never. We do not like to set limits. But Jimmy the Greek is not going to give you good odds on you being the next rock star on the internet in the social media world. Okay? It does take a little time. It does take a little bit of effort. But you're not out in the snow. You're not out in the freezing weather. You're not working in a foundry or a steel mill with a blast furnace. You're at home on your computer or your phone. I mean, it doesn't really get any easier or more enjoyable than that. Now, consistency is absolutely the key to success here. Okay? In the end, it will be worth it, we promise you. Because in time, your following will grow and it'll grow and it'll grow as long as you do everything properly. Your tribe is waiting for you now. Go out there and find them, as we like to say. Thanks for being a part of this workshop. Jonesy and I love you. And let's talk about this real quick, Jonesy, complimentary access.
Yep, I'm going to post the link in the chat here. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets a free taste. We do our members only Empower Hour masterminds the second Tuesday of every month, sometimes third Tuesday, depending on a holiday, of course. However, that is where our pro level members come. We meet up. We jump on a 2-hour call. Some people pop in for a half hour. We love when they come in the whole time, but it's really to help somebody take the next step and overcome a problem or situation that they're dealing with. And we use the conversion chemistry framework to get them past that, or to help them level up in the case of a current member who checks in every month, put them on the hot seat. We do allow a guest to show up one time before committing to the full experience, because it's conversion chemistry is for multipreneurs and it's for action takers. I'm going to post that link here. We would love to have you join our next one, which will be on February 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. There we go. Conversionchemistry.com and Power Guest. If you don't feel like typing all that, just go to conversionchemistry.com, scroll down just a tiny little bit, and you'll be able to register there just the same.
I love it. And that's a free, that's a come and taste what we have to offer. And we guarantee you, if you like the free stuff and the preview, you're going to love being a regular paid member, because I say humbly and without any hint of self-promotion at all, we love our audience. We love our members. We actually give a damn whether you succeed or not. And I think you'll find a home here, as so many other people have done.
There's a seat for you at the table, but you have to be ready to take the steps. We need action takers. We'll help you with the actions. Just be willing to say yes and do the next best thing, do the next right thing. I failed my way here. I A/B tested my way here. So I'm going to make sure you don't fail the way I did. You'll have your own failures, and that's fine. It's just science. Get to the know fast, move on, and take the next best pathway from there. That's how you grow, scale, and succeed and thrive.
Excellent. And thank you, everybody. I hope you found this presentation valuable. Thank you, Jonesy, for being my esteemed and beloved co-host. I love working with you. You know that. I make no secret about it. And again, if you're not already a member, please try our complimentary access to the Insiders Only Empower Hour Mastermind at conversionchemistry.com. This is Frank Garon, over and out.
Join us same time, same bat channel 1 week from today, 10 a.m. on Friday, where our pro level member and Fire Your Boss graduate, Dylan Lee, will be doing a presentation with us. This is actually going to be our only second collab of this type of webinar. It's basically going to be helping you level up your content creation skill tree. That's Dylan Lee of Dylan Digital. So check that out next Friday.
Excellent. And thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Adios.